In Upstream Color, a man and woman are drawn together, entangled in the life cycle of an ageless organism.
Oh, is that what happened?
Oh, that's what IMDb says.
The water before you is somehow special. It is better than anything you've ever tasted. Each drink is better than the last. Take a drink now.
This is going to be a very confusing...
I don't even know what to say.
This is going to be kind of hard to discuss.
Yes.
Maybe we should discuss Shane Carruth a little bit. He's the guy who made Primer.
Yes, which we are huge fans of.
We love Primer.
But, did you get it on the first try?
No, I did not.
No, that's the type of movie that takes a few watches to fully understand. And I would say I was expecting the same for this. So I was going in not expecting it to be, you know, something concrete and simple.
Yeah.
But I wasn't prepared for what it is.
Strangely enough, the reaction I got from this, the first time watching this, was the same exact reaction I got from Primer the first time I watched it. And I ended up loving Primer because... over time, I was able to understand it for what it was. But this movie is got the same thing going for it, where I watched it the first time, I have no idea what happened.
Right, so let's make it clear, you know, this is our initial reaction, of course, but, you know, over time, maybe we'll check in again and do another review, because over time, as we look into it, I'll watch it again. I will watch it again.
Oh, I definitely know my opinions are going to change from this
exactly.
review.
It's that type of thing, and you know what? It's nice. It's just a nice change of pace to be feeling this way about something. So, even though... you know, I don't fully understand it right now. It's like I know that I will understand it in time.
It's fun to have a challenge.
Absolutely, yes. But let's get a little bit more into Upstream Color, God help us. Yeah. Starting off with the plot.
Oh, man.
And the writing.
This is...
okay, so basically,
you know what? I suggest that we tackle this backwards.
Start with the acting?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, interesting. We'll start with the acting. This is for you, Shane. The acting, I thought all the acting was
great. Yeah,
it's funny. It felt like Primer.
Yeah,
because Shane's kind of got this. You know, he's not like an actor.
Yeah,
he's just in his movies, but he's not bad. And there are other people in the movie, obviously. But I would say that you know, it's not like. You know, I wouldn't say the acting is like the shining star of the movie, but you know, definitely good.
Very natural.
No problems there. Yes, very natural as well. I bought that they were in these situations when I understood what the situation was. So now we're going to take it backwards, still going to the directing?
Yes, we'll go directing.
So directing-wise, I would say that, you know, one thing I was wondering in the middle of it is this stuff random, or is it all... You know, does it all have a meaning? And it does. You know, we know Shane Carruth is not going to be just putting random crap in his movie like that.
He's not the kind of guy who's going to, like, put up a really a dazzling image.
Just for the sake of it. Like, it's got to mean something.
Yeah.
And so every single time I saw something, and that's why I want to watch it again, I actually kind of want to watch it and, like, pause every shot and kind of analyze it, because you know that there's something in every bit of it, which is just really... you know, really cool, really interesting. Now, this movie is kind of broken up into 3 parts a little bit. The beginning is, I would say it was easier to follow. I would say it was easiest to follow.
For the first 30 minutes or so.
I thought I was getting it.
I thought I was getting it. But then that same thing hit me. Like Primer, when Primer changed to like not getting it all, it was instant. I was like, wait a minute.
I lost something.
Yeah, something just happened. And
you feel like you want to press rewind real quick, but you can't in the movie.
Same thing happens. And I love that with Primer. I was able to go back and watch it.
Right, of course. You can't with this.
Same thing happened with this. It was all going, I get it.
You lose it, and then you're totally lost. You're completely lost.
As soon as you lose it, it's gone
But
forever,
then, in the second act of the movie, I kind of was starting to get it again a little bit, but not as much as the first act, and then it happened again. And then, for the rest of it, I was like, I don't know where I am. And, like, I was getting things here and there, but overall, I mean... Like, I get the concept to a point. I get the very basic concept, but there are definitely questions I have, like, well, why this and why this?
Oh, we've discussed this a lot. I still really don't understand...
the purpose? Like, the meaning?
Something to do with an ageless organism.
Right, the IMDb synopsis.
Yeah, that doesn't even really... explain that much.
I don't fully understand, like the synopsis even. I don't fully understand, like I said, every aspect of it, but I do feel like I got enough, at least in like the first and second act of the movie, where I'm satisfied not knowing everything. I don't feel like dissatisfied. Did you feel dissatisfied?
No, there was never a point in the movie where I was like, this is not good.
But that means a lot, because in these types of movies, I can very easily feel dissatisfied, and I didn't. I felt like I was getting a lot of stuff. I actually felt like I was almost being handed like a hard drive with all the footage they shot, and they were being like, go ahead, you figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, you work this out.
It did feel like that at some point.
But not in a bad way, though.
Not in a bad way.
In an interesting way.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And it's so hypocritical, because I could picture myself talking about another movie like this and being like, it was bullshit. I hated it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what, though? That's what it is. It's just got something to it that, for me at least, and for you, it connected enough where even though we didn't get everything, we got something.
Yeah, I mean, even in the Q&A, Shane Carruth, he tried to explain his idea of what the movie was.
Yeah.
It's very out there.
Yeah, and I mean, I really didn't even get a whole lot out of that.
I didn't get anything from that.
But like we said, we'll look into it more, of course, and we'll research it. We'll talk to other people that watch it. We'll watch it again.
I think I'll appreciate this movie a lot more after I take some time to dissect it.
I agree, and that's what I'm saying. That's what's important. I really do feel like I will feel that way, because otherwise I would just say forget it. I don't care. I'm interested in finding out more.
Other random points, cinematography was excellent.
Yes, actually, that's still in directing. Yeah, before we get to the story, because I was just about to attempt it.
Oh, God. We weren't just attempting the story?
We were, but I want to get into it a little bit more.
No.
Basically, the cinematography is great. The sound design is really interesting.
Sound design is amazing.
And I would say the editing is very, very interesting as well.
Yeah, it was interesting.
There was a lot of different things that were done. I would say that the main thing that I thought was interesting was editing from, like, you see something earlier on, like following behind somebody.
Yeah.
Or like a shot that's very similar to another shot. And then later on, you see a similar shot and it cuts back to that all of a sudden randomly. Well, not randomly. And actually, specifically not randomly. That's exactly the opposite of randomly. Purposefully. But it's just, I don't know, it was very interesting. It was almost like a stream of consciousness. You know what I mean? It was like you were just kind of like peering into this abyss of information and just kind of like looking around. It was definitely interesting. But let's attempt to get a little bit more into what the story of the movie is. Like I said, I actually totally got the first act.
Yeah.
I was following along, no problem. Then it gets shaken up a little bit in the second act, but I still get it. And basically what I got from it is that, the first act is something that happens. I'm not giving anything away. The second act is the reaction to what happened in the first act, but they don't really understand what happened in the first act. So I guess in a way, as an audience member who doesn't fully understand it, we're kind of like on their level.
Yeah, you're kind of on the level of the characters.
Now the third act, though.
Third act, we're not saying the third act fell apart.
No, not at all. It's just, it's almost a matter of, you know what it is? It's almost like we were running, trying to keep up with the movie, and it got faster and faster, and I just couldn't keep up with it.
I fell over and I threw up, and then I cried back to fat camp. And then they
to fat camp.
Fat camp. That's where they beat me up and they shoved pine cones inside of me.
Anyway, Upstream Color. As far as the overall sort of theme goes,
I mean, here's the thing. Even at the point where I was like completely gone,
just staring at the screen, like.
I liked it though. Like at that point, I was still enjoying myself.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what's weird about it. Now, did you almost like lose concept of how long we were sitting there?
Yes.
For all I knew, the movie was 3 hours long. It's only like an hour and a half.
It did not feel like
it felt like I was there for a long time.
Well, it's very unique pacing. So
yes, that goes with the editing.
Yeah. So.
Overall, I would definitely say this is a unique movie.
Yeah.
Not for everybody.
Let's get.
I would say it's not for most people, actually.
Yeah. Let's get this clear. If you're not a fan of like movies like Primer, I would not recommend this movie to a person like that.
But I can think of people I would recommend it to.
Yes.
So it's definitely not something that I wouldn't recommend to anybody. It's just it's definitely not for everybody. And I would totally understand somebody saying they hated it.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely understand it. As it is, like I said, I almost feel like I'm being hypocritical because I could see myself watching a movie like this and not liking it. But maybe it's just, the Shane Carruth touch, like the magic of Shane Carruth, that, I still appreciated it. I really did. As of right now, that's all I really can say about Upstream Color. I'm kind of dancing around even asking you whether you would say you good or bad or what.
Right now, I actually can't tell you.
You know what? We were talking about this as soon as we left. I really feel like there might be some movies where you can't. I really can't put my finger on it, you know. But
I think in time,
I would say leaning towards good though because of the fact that we're not just writing it off. You know what I mean? Like did you enjoy it?
Yes, yeah.
I enjoyed the experience. I enjoyed the experience, and I am looking forward to continuing the experience of Upstream Color.
That's one of the best parts about the movie.
Yeah, but let us know. Oh gosh, what you thought of Upstream Color. Once again. You know, whatever your opinion, loved it or hated it, we want to know because this is one of those movies where I would not question you for a second if you said you hated it. Let us know. Gosh, what could you let us know? Let us know.
Let us know if you're alive.
You know what? Give us your thoughts. We can have a discussion with you and try to, figure some stuff out. Let us know anything you came up with that we maybe didn't. Let us know anything that you want about Upstream Color. And that's pretty much it.
Or is it? Or is that the beginning? Or the middle? Or is it the middle and the beginning happening at the same time?